Okay, so added a new sign. This is supposed to be decked out with signs, but it's a really long process. For my habitat, you gotta have food, water, cover, places to raise young. We have all that here in our yard. First off, we have all this forest line back there. We have so many different kinds of birds. You can hear some that come during like residence, fall migration, winter migration, or whatever, or fall and spring, or whatever migration, whatever you call that. Like we get black and white warblers, hooded warblers. Right now we still have indigo buntings. We get pines, prairie warblers, palm warblers, vireos, different kinds of woodpeckers. And once this even gets taller, actually, I have a video recently where some of the birds were in here on top of like the plume grass. They were on top of it. So we have like food sources, so much like larva sources and seed sources, other bug sources that they eat as well. Let's go look at some of the plants I have. So this does have invasive growth in it, but you're gonna last year or the year before, I found there was an indigo bunting sleeping when it was taller, so it was closer to fall. This starts to really grow when it gets closer to fall because I have a lot of fennel and I have a lot of goldenrod, which I don't know if is native. I got a lot of invasive like bush clover in there that I got to remove as well. I've got like different water sources. And these sunflowers, which is our fall sunflowers, they go crazy during the winter. Provides food for like finches. I've seen finches up in here, and I don't know if they're going for seeds or for bugs. And then I have my passion vine, which it is a host plant for fritillaries. Angel pod, which is going crazy this year, which is great. I've seen a lot more pollinators on it, but also look how crazy. This is pretty good compared to last year. And it's not really caterpillar for me. Caterpillars don't really start coming in for this until like the end of July or beginning of August. For some reason, this clematis died. I don't know why, but this happened recently, and I'm really sad about it. Some more fall sunflowers, which I don't recommend in a small space. These are a native fall sunflower. I don't recommend them in beds or small places because they are aggressive. I've got to add mulch to all these beds and de-weed over here. But this is not swamp sunflowers. These are swamp milkweed, and then I have some swamp. I have a clematis crispa, swamp leatherflower right there. That's doing really well. I have some Joe Pye weed, non-native bush, but the animals like it, so I just keep it trimmed down. False indigo bush, which did not bloom for me this year because I cut it too late in the season. So that cost me the blooms. I've got this common partridge pea. So I got a lot of food sources because these are the host plants to sleepy oranges and cloudless sulfur, probably some other ones as well, but those are the two that I usually get in my yard. They won't stop popping off until like end of July and August as well. Got quite a bit of those that I grew from seed. They're annuals. And then I also have my native coral honeysuckle. This native coral honeysuckle usually has snowberry clearwings on it. For some reason this year, it has not really produced. Whoa, I'm seeing frass on here. So who does that belong to? Okay, I haven't been seeing larvae, like caterpillars on here this year for some reason. So either the baby caterpillars were getting eaten by other bugs or their eggs were as well. Like, it just hasn't been as productive as it normally is. The plant itself is doing fantastic. It's had so many blooms on it this year. It was more towards the spring when it was really popping off, and it's still producing flowers. Those aren't open. Those are buds. Like, they haven't fully opened, and it's obviously doing good because I've got a lot of the fruit on there, like the berries. So that is awesome. It's still growing and going crazy and doing really well. But usually the birds like to eat the snowberry clearwing caterpillars. I've got beautiful 2 different native sumacs over here. This smooth sumac, no. Yeah, I think it's a smooth sumac. That's just a common name. I can't do the scientific name off the top of my head. The other one is a winged sumac, but this smooth sumac starts with an R, and I can't remember the species, but it is native, and it is a pollinator magnet. This is a really, really great, I love this tree, plant, bush, whatever you want to call it. Some people might not like them because maybe they spread easy, I don't know. Maybe they get too tall, but I love them, and they're an absolute pollinator magnet. You will find moths, beetles, flies, different types of, pretty much anyone in the Hymenoptera, I don't know how to say it, but all the order of insects that have wasps, bees, sawflies, some other else that I can't think of right now. And then, yeah, I got non-native honeysuckle. But then I have an awesome American beautyberry. Like, this thing is quite big. It's beautiful and amazing. And apparently the birds are supposed to like the berries, but I never see the birds eating the American beautyberry berries. So, I don't know. So there's a lot of food sources and a lot of coverage because we've got so many different kinds of trees for the birds. We get birds of prey. Like, I've already named a bunch of the birds that we get. We get Chuck-bill's widows. The other ones that I cannot think of right now, whippoorwills, that's them. So there's a lot of coverage in here. There's logs, all the kind of coverage, whatever, that birds and other animals could need. Because we have bunnies, we get deer, and now you're gonna see some more. This video is so long, but lots of coverage. Like, this is gonna be removed at some point. It just takes me a long time to remove stuff. Looking at that buddy up there. Hello. For some reason, this non-native honeysuckle, I really feel like has gotten more of the snowberry clearwing eggs on it, and it makes me so frustrated because usually I'll try to move them over to my native honeysuckle. I don't know, the snowberry clearwing, it just nature just really got a hold of them. Anyway, but let's look out here. Oops, blurry. This right here is such an amazing place for all the critters. We also get rough green snakes here, usually when it gets towards September, I think, because I've been walking out at night and I haven't seen them yet, but they love hanging out in the goldenrod and the pine trees, and we usually can find them out here, and I love that. They're some of my favorite snakes. And so this is like a really great area, and I'll slowly start adding stuff, but this area is like clay and loam, so it takes like particular plants have to be over here, or I have to amend the soil. And then I have this beautiful wisteria, a native wisteria. It's Amethyst Falls, and it's already bloomed twice this year, and it has 2 bloom times, and it's already bloomed all those times. This is gonna be my path. It's crazy right now. I've got to go through and like literally flatten all these rocks out. But yeah, it's really, oh, look who we have here. We have lots of different kinds of skinks. Well, let's just say we have salamanders here, but we have a lot of different lizards. I mean, so many different types of lizards. Hello, buddy. And where's that bagworm at? I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy through here. Not good to walk on right now. And then let's see, that's the bush clover. It is not great. I'm trying to remove that, but I can only dig. I can't just pull them at this point. Like, I have to wait till the ground is soft, and I have to dig them up. And I really have to do that after it rains. But this is gonna be one of my next projects, is working on these paths. Looks pretty crazy right now. Also, we have a lot of dragonflies, but it's later in the evening, and not seeing any dragonflies right now. I don't want to try not to get my house and vehicles in here. I would really like to see some dragonflies. They might all be up right now. And we do have more water sources as well. And we have toads around here, and then we have frogs that like to just hop in our, like my planters that fill up with water that I'm not doing anything with. Basically like a little tiny pond for them. So, got a long way to go. But probably gonna get there about before the end of the year, I think. Anyway, turn your yard into like a native habitat. Whatever hell that sign said at the front. Turn it into a wildlife habitat. Yeah, I don't use insecticides or herbicides. Herbicides are sometimes necessary with like really invasive stuff. Unfortunately, those aren't supposed to affect other wildlife. It's only supposed to affect the leaves of the plants. But I just have been hand pulling everything, which is why I have all this honeysuckle and all that. But check out that huge sumac. That's a sumac. Should be probably a winged sumac, maybe. I'm not sure. It's one of the native sumacs, I think. It's tall. It's basically a tree. The end. I can't wait to show this in the fall with everything, with all my other fall flowers bloomed. It looks pretty amazing.